Good afternoon. My name is John Watts. I'm a student at Colorado Christian University, and today I'm going to be talking about steroids and muscle growth, an experiment that I performed while on steroids to see if it also will grow muscle while you're on steroids. Will steroid grow muscles? And that's my hypothesis. And how fast will you see these results? And a small overview of the project. I'm currently taking 1/2 cc of steroids for asthma. We'll measure my muscle growth for 4 days by weight training. I will be lifting 55 pounds weights, working on my chest for about a half an hour and a half. I will perform bicep exercises using 30-pound dumbbells for about the same amount of time, about an hour and a half. I also will be working on my legs, doing leg lunges with my 30-pound weight dumbbells for about the same amount of time. And I also will be monitoring my blood pressure before workout and after workout. And just to take note, I do have a pre-existing condition, which is hypertension and asthma. So that's why I want to monitor my blood pressure during this time as well. And also will measure my waist. Even though I know it won't grow as much during this experiment, it won't expand, I should say. But I will take measurements of my waist here and there as well. All right, moving on to slide number 4. I want to talk about just some research that I perform to get myself started on this experiment. Just more information for myself on muscle steroids growth and asthma. Your doctor decided that to help you get over your asthma attack, a steroid injection is necessary. If you already have an IV, you will probably not even feel it. However, if you don't, the medicine must be injected into a muscle. The most common injection points are the deltoid muscle, the side of your shoulder, or your glutes, which is your butt. The second research point, just a little background on steroids and injections as well. The general answer to that question is from a hypothesis, will you gain muscles? So the general answer to that question is you will gain somewhere between 0 and 20 pounds of muscle, with more likely answer being closer to 0 to 10 pounds of muscles. And this information is also taken from one of my reference, which you can see that on my reference page as well. There are a lot of trainers who think that training with anabolic steroids can get the job done, that they no longer have to work out or really work hard because they're taking that injection. But that's not true, says some trainers. You still have to work out to get those muscles stirred up and to develop those muscles. So just by taking a steroid injection, if for a medical condition, you think you're going to gain weight or gain muscles by taking it. No, you still have to work out. All right. Moving on to slide number 5. Um, I made a list of the materials that I used during this experiment. I used a 3 milliliter syringe, alcohol, paper towel. I have 45 weights plates that I bench press with. 30-pound dumbbells. I had a measuring tape to measure myself, and also a wrist blood pressure unit I use to um, take my blood pressure with daily. Okay, the next slide is slide number 6. Just some photos of some of my material, me taking the shot, cleaning myself, disposing of the needles, taking my blood pressure, the weights that I used. I also have a scale that I didn't weigh myself. I didn't measure or record myself, my weight, but I did I gained about 2 pounds for these 3 days that I worked out and was measuring myself. I gained about 2 pounds. Um, so that I'm thinking that's muscle growth. So, like I stated, just some of the photos of the material that I used to perform this experiment with. And also, my data observation is listed here as well. Um, I created a chart on this slide, slide number 7. So you'll see where I started from and where I ended, and how many inches I gained in my arms, my legs, my waist, and also my blood pressure reading. I saw some improvement in my blood pressure, especially towards the end. I saw some increase in my muscle mass because I consume about a liter of water a day also. And I was taking my daily blood pressure pill, which is recommended by my doctor. And also, will consume protein drinks pretty much daily during this exercise as well. So I put on about a couple pounds and saw some increase in my muscle mass. Now, moving on to slide number 9, I just want to sum it all up on this experiment. While taking the steroids injection for asthma, I noticed my body gaining strength and width. I had endurance. I started working out more than usual during this time. Like I would not get tired. I want to go that extra mile as well. And I noticed gains. I wanted to know if I was gaining inches in my arms and my legs and waist for this experiment. I knew I would not gain more inches around my waist. Those numbers pretty much stayed the same during the experiment. A week before I took the injection, I measured my arms, my legs, and waist. I also monitored my blood pressure during the entire experiment, spaced out over a 3 day schedule. This experiment. Some days I would work out twice, once in the morning, once in the evening. I would also consume about a liter of water a day. I would drink protein milk. When I did not eat a full lunch, I would drink that protein shake before I start training. Now, October the 30th, I performed 3 sets of arm curls, 3 sets of bench presses, and 3 sets of leg lunges. And October 20th, I did not work out at all. I only took my measurements for recording purposes. Since I had another pre-existing condition known as hypertension, I decided I would keep track of my blood pressure while doing this experiment. Now, on October 30th, I injected my upper thigh muscle with that 1.6cc steroids, and I started to train hard for 3 days. As you can see from my data results on the previous slides, my arms increased by 5 inches and my legs by 3 inches. My blood pressure was 120 over 77 and 127 over 85 after the workout. My top number, the stylistic number, went up by 1, and the bottom number went up by 8. November 1st, 2 days after the injection, I trained harder with much endurance. On some sets, I was able to do more. However, I noticed that my muscle decreased by an inch in my arms. They measured at 14 inches, and my legs were at 16.5 inches. And my first thought for this increase was maybe I lost some body fat and my muscles maybe getting leaner. So I was wondering why, that increase. Therefore, some muscle will decrease and increase in time. My blood pressure came out at 37.88, and after the workout, it came in at 132 over 80 after my workout. On November 2nd, I performed the same workout as I mentioned on my data chart. I noticed that my arms went up an inch. I measured in at 15 inches, and my legs were at 20 inches. My blood pressure was 145/91, slightly high, and after the workout, it was 145/95. Didn't change at all, pretty much. On November 3rd, on the last day of my experiment, I noticed an increase after my same workout routine. I had more endurance, of course, like I stated on that day. Therefore, I was able to do more reps. My arms came in at like maybe 15.3 inches. My leg measured in at 21 inches, and my waist was still 33 inches. Now, my blood pressure started to stabilize after 4 days or so. It was reading 118 over 79, and that was after the workout. My uh, hypothesis was rejected. The study shows evidence of significant connection between the variables, which taking steroids for asthma and working out will increase muscle gain. Blood pressure will eventually be stable after your workouts. If you have hypertension, your blood pressure will stable, and you'll feel great after your workout, and also you'll look great. That is the conclusion of my experiment. Please take a look at slide number 7. Most of the data is there, and also my process and procedure, how I perform this experiment. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.